Champions aren't born overnight. Hard work, dedication, self-belief, and an unwavering commitment to hard work makes them the champions that you end up seeing. But there's one other quality to them. I've noticed that the genuine champions just carry people along. Not everyone plays at that level. They carry people along with them on the path to success. And in a sense, they protect the others in the team and take them to heights that they themselves may not believe in. And that's what Castrol Active does as well. It continuously protects your bike engine, not just when it's running, but when it's off as well. And so those are the qualities we are going to look for in this special journey with Castrol Active Champions. People who inspired others and became greats of the game. And who better to start this series with than Sourav Ganguly, who played such a pivotal role at a crucial moment in Indian cricket history. There's so much to admire about Sourav Ganguly as a champion, but to me there's one thing that stands out far beyond his performances on the field and as a leader. Was a situation in Indian cricket when a young man became captain of India. He's just 26, 27 years old at that time. And Indian cricket was going through this maelstrom. They were tumbling through this whole match-fixing episode. There were people leaving the game in droves. There were people who said, "Can I believe what is happening?" It was in such a situation that Sourav Ganguly finally became captain. And I like the fact that in his first press conference, he addressed that issue headlong. And he said, "We will play clean cricket." It was imperative at that time that the Indian cricket team protected Indian cricket. And I believe that the cricket that India played over the next 4 or 5 years brought the fans back, made them pilgrims again of Indian cricket, made them believers again. And I think that is what Sourav Ganguly's greatest contribution to Indian cricket will be. I remember meeting a very young Sourav Ganguly in 91, 92. It might have been Brisbane. He was a young kid. He was just lost. I saw him in the corridor of the hotel. He was bowling much more than he was batting. He didn't know whether he belonged or no. He didn't know whether he was going to get a chance. And I think that had a huge bearing on what he did after he became captain. And thereafter, he's written about it as well, that he did not want the youngsters coming into the team to go through the state that he went through, the state of uncertainty of not knowing whether he belonged. And you'll see that as a motive that recurred all through his captaincy. Whether it was Virender Sehwag converting him to an opener in 2001-2, whether it was giving Yuvraj Singh the belief that he was going to get 10 games to prove himself, whether it was Harbhajan Singh coming back after 98 and starring in that 2001 series, whether it was Zahir Khan coming out of the Nairobi game and becoming a big player for India. You'll see that one thing common all the way through, that the youngsters he nurtured then went on to become big players. And I think this ability to protect raw talent almost is I think critical for a champion and a leader, and India needs to be grateful to Sourav Ganguly for that phase in Indian cricket.
My debut series, which was in Kenya, the Champions Trophy, I was being picked to play the first match against Kenya. That was the debut game for me. So obviously a big game. I was quite nervous a night before the match, and Dada handed over first over of the match to me, which was unexpected. So he would do things in that manner, which will boost your confidence.
I know a lot of people will look back at Sourav Ganguly and say that moment, Calcutta 2001, Chennai 2001, India beating Australia, ending their winning streak, will go down as a high point of Sourav Ganguly's career. I actually believe that there were other high points. I thought India played the best cricket under Sourav Ganguly. 2002 in England, but really 2003-04 when India went to Australia and then won a series in Pakistan. Rahul Dravid was captain for a while in that series, but it really was Sourav Ganguly's team at that point, and it all started in that first test match in Brisbane. 60 for 3, 120 for 4, and all of us saying, right, here we go again. And that is why that century from Sourav Ganguly, 144, was so crucial, because it cushioned India from that first test match loss. India then won in Adelaide, might have lost in Melbourne, great match in Sydney. India drew that series 1-1, which at that stage was a fantastic result. There were lots of great batting performances that followed, that landmark double 100 by Tendulkar. Then a couple of fine innings by Rahul Dravid, especially up there in Adelaide, Sehwag's big 100 in the Boxing Day Test match. But all that came about after the cushion that Sourav Ganguly provided in that first test match in Brisbane, and that's why that 144 was special. And when you look back at Sourav Ganguly's career, among all the innings that he played, you'll remember this one. Then, of course, that whole chapel saga happened, and Sourav Ganguly suddenly found himself from being captain of the side to having to fight his way back, play domestic cricket. And all of a sudden, Sourav Ganguly found himself playing in Siliguri. He found himself playing up in Punjab somewhere. Nobody is watching. Nobody even knows that the games are happening. And I remember writing at the time that the true test of Ganguly's return will come whether he can motivate himself enough to go and play on these small grounds away from the limelight and say, you know what, I'm willing to go through the grind again. I'll fight my way back, not come back because I'm Sourav Ganguly. And I think, in a sense, that might have helped him a little bit because it rekindled the drive and the ambition. Sometimes you start taking it for granted. With some players that can happen. I don't know if it did with Sourav. And so when he came back to South Africa to play, then you could see that there was something else about Sourav Ganguly. And it's no surprise that Tendulkar told him at that point that of all the years I have seen you, this is the best you've played in Test match cricket. And so Sourav Ganguly finished as he should have. Not with a whimper somewhere in Harare or Bulawayo, but on his own terms after coming back and scoring hundreds. That is why Sourav Ganguly is a champion. And I'll remember him for many things. The shots through the offside, the character he brought to the game, but more than anything else, because at that crucial stage in Indian cricket, he almost seemed to protect Indian cricket with his attitude and the players around him. That is what Castrol Active does. Its Active Bonds continuously protect your bike engine, not just when it's running, but even when it's off. So there you are. I hope you enjoyed the first part of this journey of Castrol Active Champions. There's many more coming your way and we're going to enjoy bringing them to you.